on, you guys? Today we're going to be learning the song Surviving the Game by Skillet. If you appreciate these tutorials and you want to support me, the best way that you can do so is by hitting that subscribe button. It's really that simple, and I really would appreciate it if you took that effort. Anyway, let's get into it. You are watching Logan's Lessons. First things first, get your guitar tuned to drop C tuning. Starting from the string closest to your face, we have a C, then a G, C, F, A, and D. I'll repeat that. C, G, C, F, A, D. Okay, now that you have your guitar tuned up, let's get to the main riff of the song. This is the hardest part of the song and is obviously probably why you searched up this song in the first place. We start with a down, up, while muting the strings. A down, up. So it should sound like this. Okay, so after that, I like to break up the main riff into 4 different parts and to think of it that way. This is the first part. So to do that, we start with a down pick on the low E string. Next, you place your ring finger on the 5th fret of your A string. You're going to pick that upwards. Then you place your first finger on the 3rd fret of your low E string. And you down pick that, but then immediately you pull it off so that you have a bend sound, and then you hear the open string ringing out. That. So you have a little bend, and then it plays the open E string. So far, if I do that slowly, do that with me, faster, full speed, like that, okay? Muy bueno. So you let that string ring out for a second, and then you hit that 3rd string again and pull it off in the same way. But right after you pull it off, you play the 3rd fret of your A string, picking it upwards. And then the 3rd fret of your low E string. This time, you're picking it upwards and you're not pulling it off. So. Okay, now I'll play it slowly. Now attempt to do that along with me. I'll do that again. Okay, now speeding it up a bit. One last time. Cool. The next note is the 6th fret of your A string, played with your pinky finger. Also an upstroke. Then you hit the 3rd fret of your low E string again, an open E string, and the 3rd fret once more. I'll repeat myself. You have the 6th fret of your A string to the 3rd fret of your low E, to the open E, and then the 3rd fret again. Now I'll play the entirety of the first phrase or part of the main riff. I'll do that slowly. Do that with me. Speeding it up now. Now full speed. One more time. Awesome, so that is the first phrase. The second is actually quite similar, it's just the ending that changes. Here's the second phrase. So you start off the same, and you go until you hit that 3rd fret of your A string. Right there. And that's where things change. You then hit a bar across the 6th fret of your E and A strings. And I prefer to use my ring finger, but that's just personal choice. You do have to, however, use your middle, 3rd, or pinky though, or else the next note won't be accessible to you. The next note is the 5th fret of your A string, and that happens to be the last note of the second phrase. So I'll play the second phrase again for you. If I do it slowly, do that with me. Speeding it up a bit now. And full speed. Now with the first phrase. Congratulations, my friend. You have now learned the first half of the main riff. Moving on to the second half. The third phrase is actually exactly the same as the first. You just have to be careful with the transition in between the second phrase and the third phrase. Because of the rhythm of the last note of the second phrase, it can kind of, it at least tripped me up a little bit when I first learned it. So here's the third phrase. Now if I play that along with the first two phrases, you get this. Now if I slow that down. Do that with me. And a little bit faster now. Okay, the fourth and final phrase. Are you ready? So you start off the same as any of the other phrases with the first four notes. And I'm including the note that you pull off too. So, those four. But that's where it changes. You then hit the low E string twice like this, muting in between stabs. So, you then have an up strum on the 3rd fret of your A string, and then we have 2 notes left. It's first the 6th fret of your low E string, which you strum downwards, then the 5th fret of that same string, which you strum up, and then you bend it. So, the 4th phrase will sound like this. If I do that slowly, do that with me. Faster. Full speed. With the rest of the phrases. Do that with me. Sweet! Have fun with that one. So now moving on, we have the pre-chorus, which is comparatively elementary. We start with an open low E string, which is strummed as a down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Like that. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So think of that in 3 categories. A down, up, and then a slightly syncopated down, up. You get down, down, up, down, up, down, up. If I speed that up a bit, and that's the strumming pattern. So you do that 3 times with the open E string, and they're separated by a bit of silence. So make sure that you listen to the song and listen to where the guitars come in for that part. Then you have the same strumming pattern on the 3rd fret of your low E string. Same picking pattern. Then the 2nd fret. But there's half as much space in between the 3rd and the 2nd fret as there was in between the individual, just the low E string pieces. So if I play the pre-chorus for you, it'll sound like this. And that brings us into what I would consider maybe part B of the pre-chorus, I guess. Regardless, you'll be playing a bar across the 8th fret of your low E, A, and D strings. You strum that as a down, 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 up, down, up. You do that twice for the first chord. So down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up with the chord. Then you slide down to the 5th fret. And for the 5th fret, you only play that strumming pattern once. So down, 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 up, down, up. So those 2 chords together. And that drops you into the chorus, which is the final piece of the song that we have to learn. So you start with just the low E string. And actually, the strumming pattern stays consistent through the whole chorus. So the strumming pattern is a down, 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 up, 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 down, down. If I do that really slowly. Down, 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 up, 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 down, down, up. So down, 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 up, 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 down, down, up. Starting with the low E, we have. But you can further stylize it by playing the 12th fret of your low E string, which is the octave of the open string. And you like pull it off like that. So down, 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 up, down, down, up. So you play the 12th fret on the 3rd down and the last down of this phrase. So down, 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 up, down, down, like so, okay? So moving on from that one, we go to the 8th fret of our low E string, and this time we're not going to do anything fancy, we're just going to do the picking pattern on the low E string. Like that, down, 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 up, down, up, and then down to the 3rd fret, same thing. And then the 2nd fret. You do that a second time. For that last strum on that 2nd fret, I like to bar across the E, A, and D strings on the 2nd fret and give it a nice big strum before heading back into the... And that is how you play the song Surviving the Game by Skillet. If you have a song request, comment it. If you wish to be notified of future videos, hit the bell. I sincerely hope that you are well. Please do me a favor and hit that like button in blue. I'd really, really appreciate it if you subscribe too. I hope this video has been a blessing. You've been watching Logan's Lessons.